What's going on, peeps? It's your boy Glenn Lawrence, and we're back with another whispering review. And this time, we're talking about Cinderella. This is the reboot from K-Canon. And what she does is change the canon of Cinderella. Now, I don't really have a problem with it because I like things to be different. But I just think that this movie would have been better served if it was a totally different idea. Because the whole time I'm comparing it to the old Cinderella. And there's too many changes that make me be like, eh. Now, this reboot stars Camila Cabello as Ella. Not Cinderella, Ella. She just is Ella, but she's always working with Cinder. So I don't know why they did that. But right off the bat, I was like, I think I'm going to like this movie because they have Billy Porter narrating. That's right. They have Billy Two Snaps Porter narrating. And I like that guy. He's pretty. He's got pizzazz. Now, Cinderella was a musical. There was a lot of songs in there. But this time they decided to not use any of those songs and just use songs from like modern day, which is painful. The whole reason why you want to see a remake is you want to see how they do it differently. I don't know. Maybe I'm an old fuddy-duddy, but I don't know about having other pop culture songs in a movie that already has songs that you want to hear. Like they took out the Cinderella work song. Yeah, so they took out all the actual Cinderella songs. Cinderella, Cinderella, all I hear is Cinderella. I did not hear Cinderella. Maybe they were scared of getting a copyright strike. But they did replace it with some songs like Rhythm Nation. I haven't heard Rhythm Nation in a long time. That was kind of cool. Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation. So they're kind of like a Rhythm Nation. Although there was a lot of white people for a Rhythm Nation. I could have stand to see more people of color if there's going to be a Rhythm Nation. Just saying. The movie also stars Idina Menzel. She's the stepmother, which was cool. It has Minnie Driver, and Minnie Driver can sing. I like Minnie Driver. She's my homie. I mean, she's not my homie. I don't know her, but I feel very close to her because I've always liked the movies that she's in. Nicholas Galazine takes the role of the prince, and he's kind of a brooding guy. He looks, it's cool. He's serviceable. I like him as the prince. He's cool. Pierce Brosnan is the king, and he does a good job. Listen, the cast does a great job. I just think that if they got this cast together and they did a different musical, it would have been great. You know what? Maybe I'm spoiled from the Lin-Manuel Miranda musicals. I think he spoiled musicals for me because they're so rhythmic and damn it, Lin-Manuel, this is your fault. Now, the fashion in this Cinderella is very awesome. If Billy Porter's involved, fashion is going to be good. I liked all the costumes. Those were good. That was perfect. In this film, they have the ugly stepsisters, but they're not that ugly. They're just, annoying, I guess. And they're not terribly mean to Cinderella, which is a little off-putting because I feel like to really root for Cinderella, you need to get her bullied. Now, it was interesting because this Cinderella is of Hispanic descent, I'm guessing, right? So that makes her name Ella, Shishi. That works. So this is the story of Shishi and how she wanted to become a fashion designer. Yeah, see, I just think there's a lot to overcome if you're going to do a remake of Cinderella, because now you're thinking about all the other Cinderellas and all the iterations of Cinderella in those Cinderellas. And then you gotta meet those expectations. It's very hard to do. One part of the movie that did come close to meeting expectations, Billy Porter as the fairy godmother, magnificent. That should have been the movie. The fairy godmother should have been in there a lot more because he really came to slay in that role. The three mice, they were also very, very cool in the film. James Corden is in the film as a mouse. Ella is a fashion designer and she wants to start her own business. Here's another reason. This is weird. It's weird. It's the Cinderella era, and it's like, oh, we're trying to start businesses. Were they really thinking about starting businesses back then? Were they just trying to survive? Didn't they just have, like, bread and, like, gruel? Nobody was trying to start a burgeoning fashion business. I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. You have to overcome all these expectations for this film to work. So Kay Cannon, the director of this film, did Pitch Perfect, and I gotta say, I see what she was going for. Pitch Perfect those were great films. I love those films, and they try to do that same magic here. And I think the problem is they come up against expectations. And then you try to throw in all this pop culture. It's very difficult to do. Now, Ella, she wants to design these dresses. She uses Singer sewing machines. I peeped the product placement, Singer. You're not sneaky. You can't pass one by me. But in the end, she does end up making her dresses and going to the ball, just like in the other movie. And it follows along with Cinderella in that fashion. Fashion. I thought it was interesting how Cinderella, or Ella, I guess as you would call her, was sitting on a statue of the king. And I'm like, isn't this old-timey? Don't they behead people for things like that? But she was just playing around like, ha 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 ha, I'm making jokes at the king. Yeah, that would have been a no-go in my kingdom. Off with her head. I don't care how cute your dress is. Now, if you're going to do Cinderella and you're going to change things, why not change the curfew? Like, why you got to be home at midnight? Everybody knows the party doesn't get jumping until midnight. Make the curfew at 2 a.m. That would have been a better change than everything else that they changed in the film. Make that change the next time you reboot Cinderella. Let her stay out. Let her hair down. Cinderella, of course, has the same motif. She's got to get home by midnight, or she starts changing back. I don't understand. Why didn't Cinderella just stay with the prince? Be like, yo, why don't you take me to your room? I've had plenty of times having a one-night stand, you wake up in the morning, and it's not quite the same person that you went to sleep with. I think it would have been fine. Since you're changing everything else, everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. Change that too. I thought it was cute that they involved Pierce Brosnan in the singing, even though it was god-awful. I enjoyed Minnie Driver, seeing her sing. I've never seen her sing before, and I was like, oh, that is so darling. I love her accent. I love her in all the movies that I've seen her in, so it was a nice departure to see her sing. Is she a singer? I'm not part of the fan club, admittedly. I should be, since I like her so much. I'm going to see if she has a fan club. Hold on. Oddly enough, Rabbit Hole, she does have a fan club. It's on Facebook. And subscribe. Now, to wrap it all up, what would I give this movie? I'm going to give it a 2.5 whispers. I was leaning towards 2, but Billy Porter really pushed me over the edge to give me that extra half because he was dynamic in it. He probably could have used a lot more scenes. So 2.5. Because it was just too much to overcome. So obviously Cinderella, she gets the spell so people don't recognize her even though she's just wearing a dress. Did the prince get the same spell? Because he went into town and all he put on was a headband. And no one knew who he was. Like, do you all not know who I am because I have this headband on? It's me, BlerdDad. Look, BlerdDad, see? Boom, headband, totally different guy. So, anyway, that's why I'm giving it 2.5 whispers. Pretty good movie. A lot of uphill had to battle for. But if you're looking for something nice with your kids and you like the modern songs in there, I'd give it a watch. It was not terrible. It was actually kind of enjoyable if you forget about the other Cinderella. If you totally disagree with me, comment down below and say, I don't even know who you are with that headband on, and I totally disagree with what you're saying. But if you do like it, go ahead and like. And if you really like it, share it. And if you really love it, subscribe so you can get notified every time we do one of these whispering reviews. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go back to my alter ego and go check on the wife and kids. Thanks for peeping it.